So, welcome to all of you on the day 3 for this bootcamp for machine learning model deployment using Flask. Okay, so far we have covered with day 2, right? So today we are going to start with day 3, and thank you so much for joining in at this point of time. Of course, it's a weekend, so many of you have other plans as well, but thank you so much for joining in. Okay, perfect. So far we have started with Python. We have understood basic of Python. We have seen the theoretical knowledge of Python, right? And furthermore, we have seen what is a variable, what exactly are the data types, and we have seen four kind of data types. There is a sorry, that was a string. Then we have the integer, float, and boolean value as well, right? And then we have seen the typecasting as well. What is typecasting? Changing from one type to another type. That means if you are having a data of one type and you want to change that data type into a different data type, right? And you have to make sure that the data should be valid. Okay, when you're changing from one type to another, the data should be valid so that it can be easily be changed to another data type. Okay, so like suppose if we say, let's come to our Jamboard. This was okay. We have also studied about the garbage collection as well. Okay, thanks to the slides. Okay, when we say then whenever you are doing the typecasting, the data should be valid. That means suppose if your data is in this format, 13.45. Now if I ask you what is the data type for this data, what is the data type for this data? Come on, what is the data type for this data? What is the data type for this data? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, I can see someone is writing float. I can see someone is writing float. Is it float, guys? Is it float? Of course not. It is not float, right? It is a string. It is a string. See very carefully. This is float, okay? This is float, okay? I agree. But this is being enclosed within the inverted commas. And what kind of inverted comma it is? It is a single inverted commas. So anything that falls under a single inverted comma and a double inverted comma is known as a string. Right? Now see, if I want to convert this data that is having the data type of string into float, let's say I want to convert it into float, and in float it will going to look like this way. Now this is a valid data. This is a valid data. That means I can easily convert this data into float, okay? Because in float as well, we have something like this, right? If I say 13.45 and then I put over here as A, now guys tell me, is this a valid data? Is this a valid data that will be going to, if we are going to convert this into float, will it going to stand as a valid data? Yes or no? Yes or no? Of course not, right? Of course not. This is not a valid data because this over here, it's a string, so you can write it up. But when you are going to convert this string into float, what is happening is 13.45 will be converted, but your interpreter will going to get confused that, hey, what should I give this value? This is a, this is a character, or this is a string value, and I have to convert it into number. But what exactly is the number of this? So your interpreter will going to say, no, it cannot be done. Please check your data should be valid. Okay, so that's what a valid data means whenever you are going to do a typecasting. Okay, you cannot convert a string of alphabets into integers, right? You cannot convert like today. If you say I want to convert this today and you say int of today, do you think it will going to work? Do you guys think that it will going to work? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you think it will going to work? Of course not. Of course not, right? Because you cannot convert this kind of data in an integer because this is not a valid data. So instead of this, if you write over here 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, or even though if you write a floating value, it can also be converted into an integer. Integer will going to take the part or the number before the decimal point. Okay, so that's known as a valid data. Okay, so now today what we are going to cover is we are going to talk about the data structures. We are going to talk about the data structures, and it will be a Python data structure. Python data structure. Okay, not only it's a data structure, but it's a Python data structure. That means over here it is absolutely different. When we say data structure, we include linked list, we have insertion sort, we have different sorting technique, we have different selection technique, and so on and so forth, right? This is a data structure, but this is a Python data structure. This is a Python data structure. What do you understand by the term data structure? What exactly is the term data structure mean? What do you think? What do you think? What exactly is this data structure mean? Come on. Come on. What do you think is the term data structure mean? Come on. Arranging of data, okay. Way of organizing data, perfect. It's a way, it's a method of organizing our data, collecting our data, storing our data, and managing our data. Okay, so it's a way of storing our data. That means, like, suppose if I say this is my wardrobe, if this is my wardrobe, okay, let's suppose this is my wardrobe, this is how my wardrobe looks like. This is one section, this is another section, and this is another section. Okay, if I am going to put my clothes, if I'm going to put my clothes and all the accessory in this wardrobe without folding, and just like that only, just like a raw thing. Okay, so it will going to consume, what will going to happen on filling up, like suppose on filling up 15 t-shirts. Let's suppose on filling of 15 t-shirt on the upper compartment without any organized way or any folding way, I am just putting it and throwing up over here. So what will going to happen after filling up 15 t-shirt on the first compartment, my wardrobe will going to get full. So when I'm going to put my 16th t-shirt, it will going to fall off. It happens. Generally boys can relate that, right? We do that. We oftenly do that, right? Clothings are not that much organized. Okay, perfect. So yes or no, can you guys relate that? Can you guys relate that? Yes or no? Can you guys relate that? Okay, okay, perfect. So what happened is that if we are going to put our clothes in an organized way, if suppose this is your t-shirt, let's suppose this is your t-shirt. Okay, let's suppose this is your t-shirt, you are putting this t-shirt as it is over here. So let's suppose it is taking 15 t-shirt capacity only, and you cannot fill up the 16th t-shirt or more t-shirt, right? If you're going to organize this t-shirt, like suppose you're folding this t-shirt and your t-shirt comes out to be like this, a perfect fold, or organize your, or have organized it, and now you're going to put your t-shirts over here. So it may happen, not it may, but it will going to happen that 30 t-shirts can be filled up over here, 30 t-shirts can be automatically filled over here, right? So we know that when our mom do that, they generally fill a lot of t-shirts or a lot of clothing in a single compartment, which is definitely impossible for us, right? Especially for boys. So this is how a data structure work. Data structure means how you can organize a data, how you can organize a data, you can manage a data, you can you can say arrange a data and gather a data, so that you are giving more preference to the data, and you are trying your best that in a single bucket, you will going to fit more items, as it will be very difficult for the general way. In a general way, if suppose you are filling up, you are assigning a variable, okay, you are assigning a variable and you're assigning a value, that value is taking, like suppose of 64 bit, let's suppose it is int 64, it is taking int 64. Okay, this is a data type value, that what exactly it is taking, it's taking int 64. But it can happen that the same data can be fit up into int 8 or int 16, int 16. So see how much data you have saved, okay, this will going to make more sense when you start with pandas and numpy. Okay, in that section it will going to make more sense. Okay, just understand in this way that if a data can be easily be fit into 864, so it's absolutely worthless to provide them more space. It is absolutely worthless to provide them more space. This space can be given to other as well, right? So this is the way of arranging a data, organizing a data, and managing a data. data, that is known as a data structure. Okay, and similarly, when we say Python data structure means that if you want to store more data, how you can do that? Now we are going to learn about this. Is this clear? Is this clear? Give me a confirmation if it's clear to all of you. So far, so good. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Let's understand this thing. Now, we know that we are having a variable. This is a variable, and variable can store some value. Now, understand one thing, that variable can store only a single value. One variable can store one value. It cannot happen that you can say value 1 and then value 2 and value 3. It will not going to happen. A one variable can only store one value. That means if you want to make more value store, you have to create more variable, right? If you want to store more value, you have to create more variable. That means for var 1 you are storing this val 1, not val, it should be val. Okay, now variable 2 you are storing value 2, and so on and so forth you are going to go. Like suppose variable 100. Okay, variable 100 you are storing value 100, right? Now what happens is that if you are creating these many variables, then definitely it will going to take a lot of space in the memory. If you're creating these many variables, it will going to take a lot of space in the memory, right? So if you see the general way, what are you doing? You're storing a value into a variable. Why you are storing a value into a variable? That in the upcoming time, if you want to use that value, you can call that variable. And you can access that value, right? You are not interested in what exactly is the name of this variable. You're not interested. You are interested in the value. You're interested in the value, not in the variable. Are you guys getting this? You are not interested in the variable. You're interested in the value. After writing thousands of code, if I want to reuse the same value, how can I do that, right? We're not interested in the variable. So that means if the variable is 1, if even though what I can do is I can exempt all this variable, I only want this value, right? Because all this variable is taking a lot of spaces. So to tackle this situation, we have Python data structure. Python data structure concept is, it says that variable has a rule. Variable rule says that I can store only one value, right? Python data structure says that, okay, variable, you will going to store only one value, but in the same time you will going to store multiple value. Now see, there are the two contradictory statement. The first statement is that okay, variable, we are storing one value only, but still we will going to store multiple value in a single variable. Now see, there are two contradictory statement. You have to understand very, very carefully. Variable says that I can store only one value, right? Python data structure says that, okay, you will going to store only one value, but we're going to make that one value act as it is storing multiple values, right? So to tackle this, we have this Python data structure, and in Python data structure, we have four kind of Python data structures. Okay, we have a list. That is a replacement of array. You must have heard about array if you are coming from C background or any kind of programming language, or if you are a computer student, you must have heard about array. Okay. After that, we have a tuple. We have a dictionary, like we have a normal dictionary. Okay, like an Oxford dictionary. It is exactly the same way. Not dictionary, it's a dictionary. And last we have set. And sets also you have studied during your 10th. If you're from CBSE, you must have done in your 10th or 11th. Okay, so these are the four data structures. Of Python. Okay, so let's start by seeing that what exactly these all four data structure will going to do. Okay, let's go on. So far so good. Are you guys clear? With this? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So let's start with list. What exactly is this list? And I have also already told you that list is a replacement of array. Okay, now how we make a list in our general life? in our general world, how we make a list, right? Let's take a scenario. What happened is, uh, while explaining about the threat, okay, while explaining about the threat to Tony Stark, Doctor Strange told him that there are several stones. There are this stone, this stone, this stone. So Tony Stark says that okay, wait. Let me write somewhere, because I don't know anything about this stone, and you're telling there are 6 stones, right? So let me write it. Let me make a list that how many stones are there. Okay. So he starts making a list. He started making a list. Okay. First is your space. Then what's next? Then Dr. Strange says that okay, then there is a time. Okay, we have time. Then we have a power. Okay. Then we have a mind. Okay. Then we have a soul. We have a soul. What's the last stone? What's the last stone? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone knows the last stone? Anyone knows the last stone? Reality. Perfect. Okay. Reality. Okay. So what happened is that Tony Stark has made a list, and this is the way we make a list. This is the way we make a list in our general life. Yes or no? In our general world, this is the way we make a list. Yes or no, guys? Right? Right? This is the way we make a list in a general world, right? This is first, this is second, and third, and fourth. Now, how we can, let's convert this list. This is a general world list that we make. Let's convert this list into a Python list. Let's convert this list into a Python list. So let me copy. This is my data. In a list, these are known as the element. If I ask you what exactly is the data type for this highlighted region, what do you think is the data type for this highlighted region? What do you think is the data type for this highlighted region? String. Exactly. It's a string. Okay. So definitely we should be having the inverted commas. Okay. Now this is a second item. This is a third item. This is a fourth item. This is a fifth item. And this is a sixth item. Oh, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So over here, now these are all the string, right? Now if you want to tell your interpreter that these are the items, okay, if these items are going to make a list, you need to declare your data. You need to declare your data within the square bracket. Within the square bracket. Okay, so for a string, as we have understood that the data should be between or enclosed between the inverted commas, right? Single or double. So similarly, if you want to make a list, your data or datas should be enclosed within the square bracket. That means if this is my data and I want to make this as a list, so I am going to put this data. Let me cut this data off. This is my square bracket. And over here, I'm going to put my data. Now, this is your Python list. This is your Python list. Now, if you want to do that, you can assign it to a variable. Let's say stone. Okay. Now, see, stone is a variable. Stone is a variable, and variable says that I am only going to store one value. So, this is the entire one value. This is the entire one value. Okay. Now stone says that okay, the rule, according to my rule, you are satisfying the condition. So a stone is storing one value. But if you look more closely, you will going to find out one value contains multiple values. This one value contains multiple value. Are you guys clear with the concept of list? Are you guys clear with the concept of list? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Is this clear? Perfect. Let's try this, whether this list is working in our system or not. Let's copy this and paste it over here. So we have a stone. Let me do in this way. And let's say this. Now see, this is your stone, and this is the value. This is entirely the value, and this one value contains multiple value. This is one item, this is one item, this is one item, and so on and so forth. Or you can call this as an element. Let's run this. Now let's print the stone. Now see, it prints everything over here. It's a space, time, power, mind, soul, and reality. And if you print the type over here, If you print the type over here, you can see the type is coming as a list. The type is coming as a list. Okay. Now we have seen how you can declare a list. Now suppose, okay, we have created a list. Okay, we have put all the data over here. But suppose if I want to access soulstone, if I want to access soulstone, how can I do that? Because if I'm going to print stone over here, if I'm going to print stone over here, I'm getting all the data in this list. I don't want all the data. I don't want all the data. I just want this soulstone. I want this soulstone. To tackle this situation, we have a concept of indexing and slicing. We have a concept of indexing and slicing. Indexing means the position. Indexing means the position. Okay, this is a very, very interesting topic and a very easiest topic, but at the same time it is more powerful. Okay, now let's talk about what exactly do you understand by this term indexing. Indexing also means position. Position. Okay, indexing also means a position. If you know a position, and every element is going to have a different unique position. If you know a position, you can easily call that particular element. You can easily call that particular element. That means, let's suppose if I'm having a school, let's suppose this is a school. Okay, let's say school. We have the school. Now what happened is that in the school we have a lot of students from first grade till 12th grade, right? So what happened is that once what happened is that principal sent a pune, principal called a pune and told him that, hey, you need to go on and find a student name as Ankit. You need to go to the school or school building and you need to find a student named Ankit. So what happened is that Pune went to the school. Okay, and Pune has seen that there are several Ankit over here. It can be happen. Yes or no? Yes or no? It can be happen. Yes or no? Right? Because a lot of people can have the same name. And now Pune doesn't know to which Ankit the principal is referring to. Now Pune doesn't know to which Ankit the principal is referring to. So what happened is that now Pune went back to the principal and asked him that, hey, there are several Ankit, give me a unique hint so that I can find the perfect guy that you are referring to. So principal says that, okay, go on and find out Ankit Yadav. Okay, now what happened? Again, Pune went to the school and tried to find out Ankit Yadav. Now again, though we have the title name, but this is a common name. This is a very common name. That means we can find more students with the same name who is sharing the first name as well and for the last name as well. Yes or no? Right? Yes or no? Okay. Now what happened is that Pune will again going to go to this principal and will going to tell him that, hey, please give me something unique. So that I can identify that particular person. Principal says, okay, this Ankit studied in 12th standard. Let's say 12th standard. Now what happened? Again, Pune went to the 12th standard and he found out there are 5 sections: A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now do you think it will be very easy or accurate for the Pune to find out that guy Ankit Yadav? Do you think that? Tell me. Do you think? Of course not, because we have 5 sections in the 12th standard, and it may happen we can have multiple students of different name either on the same standard or either in the same section or in different section as well, right? Now what happened is Pune went to the principal and asked him, kindly please give me the admission number of the student. Kindly give me the admission number, not the roll number, but the admission number. Let's suppose admission numbers comes out to be XYZ 101. Now see this. This is the admission number, and admission number is unique for each student. Admission number is unique for each student. Are you guys getting this or not? Are you guys getting this or not? Right? Even though it doesn't matter whether a student is having the same name, they are studying the same section, same class, having same roll number, having in different section as well, right? But if you are giving the admission number, it is 110% sure that you will going to reach to the accurate person, because admission number is unique. It cannot be same. It is unique. It cannot be same. Right? So it's the same way. This is admission number is known as the indexing in Python. This admission number is known as the indexing in Python. That means it will be a unique ID or a unique number that will be assigned to each element, so that if you want to reach out to a particular element, you can give the ID and you will going to get an output. Okay, in a simple way, let's understand this. Let's suppose I'm having a phrase as Jarvis. Okay, let's say we are having a phrase as Jarvis. Right now, over here, this Jarvis has been made up of 6 character. This Jarvis has been made up of 6 character or 6 letter, you can say. First is J, then A, then R, then V, and then I, and then S. Right? What happened is that each character or each element has been assigned with a position, This J will going to have a position, this A will going to have a different position, R will going to have a different position, and the position has been assigned in such a way that each character and each letter or each element or each item, the position ID will be absolutely different. Okay, and one more thing that you should make sure that you know, that in Python, this is a note. Okay, you should always remember this thing. Let me give this. Okay, in Python, the indexing starts from 0. Indexing means the positioning starts from 0. Like suppose we are having a race, right? In the race, we choose top 3, right? And we say we have the first winner, we have second winner, and we have third winner, right? So over here, if you see, the positioning starts from 1. Yes or no? That's how we give the position. Right? This racer or this athlete has stood as first. This athlete has stood at second, right? So over here, the indexing or the positioning starts from 1. But in Python, the indexing or the positioning starts from 0. That means instead of providing this letter, the index of 1 and then 2 and then 3, we go with 0. That means 0 will be the position of this character, 1 will be the position of this character, 2 will be the position of this character, this character will going to get the position of 3, this character will going to get the position of 4, and this character will going to get the position of 5. And if you see very carefully, each character is having a unique ID. Each character is having a unique ID. Are you guys getting this? Yes or no? Are you guys getting this? Yes or no? Okay. So always remember this thing. In Python, the indexing starts from 0. And what does this indexing means? Indexing is a unique ID that has been given to an item, character, letter, or element. Okay, why we do that? Because so that we can easily find out the particular or the specific element that we are talking about. Okay, in the same case over here, if you see, we are having 6 items. We have 6 element and we have 6 items, right? So if you want to say that I want to go with soulstone, you have to give the ID, and ID for this item will be different as compared to all the other items, right? So ID for this will be 0, ID for this will be 1, ID for this will be 2, ID for this will be 3, ID for this will be 4, and this will be 5. So if I say in this list stone and which ID? 4. Let me run this and you will going to find out soul over here. This is the value. That means soulstone holds the index value as 4. Soulstone holds the index value as 4. Is the concept of indexing clear to all of you? Come on. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. Okay, perfect. Now let's understand about the slicing. Okay, so slicing is dependent upon indexing. If you don't know indexing, you cannot perform slicing. Slicing means to chop off or to cut off. Suppose with the help of indexing, you can find a single character or single element. Okay, like suppose if you say I want all the characters starting from here to here, I want all the characters starting from the character A to I, right? This is known as slicing. This is known as slicing. You will going to provide the starting index and you will going to provide the ending index plus 1. You will going to provide the ending index plus 1 and you will be getting all this element. That means if I want mind stone, soul stone and reality stone. Let's suppose I want only mind stone and soul stone, right? I want only mind stone and soul stone. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the concept of slicing. So I'm going to say stone, okay, starting index. So starting index, that means it will going to start from here. So what exactly is the index of this mind stone? What is the index of this mind stone? What is the index of this mind stone? Come on, tell me. Come on. 3. Okay, let's see this. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Absolutely correct. This is 3, right? Now you have to also print this soul stone. So soul stone will be the last, right? So soul stone, the value of soul stone is 4. The index is 4, right? 4 over here, but we have seen it should be the last value plus 1. Last value plus 1. So that means you have to add plus 1, which in turn will going to make it 5. And if you are going to run this up, you will going to see mind stone and soul stone. Okay, with the help of this you can perform the slicing. With the help of this you can perform the slicing. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay, is this clear? Okay, so this is the concept of list, and we have plenty of thing in list, right? We have plenty of thing in list, but since we are short of time, so this is just an overview how exactly list will going to work out and how you say that this is a list, because the data should be enclosed within the square bracket, right? And let's move on to the next data structure. The next data structure that we are going to talk about is a tuple. Okay, the next data structure that we are going to talk about is a tuple. Again, the same thing, since it's a data structure, it will going to store multiple values. And if you want to know the interpreter that it's a tuple, you need to put your data or your datas within the round bracket. Within the round bracket. Okay, so for a list, you have to make sure that the bracket should be square. And for tuple, you have to make sure that the bracket should be a round bracket, right? Again, the same thing, you can do everything with that, but you have to make sure that tuple is immutable. Tuple is immutable. Okay, so it's a very frequent question that has been asked in interview, that difference between list and tuple. Difference between list and tuple. The difference between list and tuple is that list is mutable. That means mutable means to change. Mutable means changeable. Okay, and when we say immutable, that is unchangeable. Okay, when we say list is mutable, means that if you add some value in a list, right, and if you want to change that value, you can easily do that. You can update any value, manipulate any value, alter any value. Okay, but in tuple you cannot do that. You cannot do that. Suppose if this is a list, right, if over here it's written 1, 2, 3 and 4, right, at some point of time you realize that, oh, by mistakenly I have written over here 4, I want to change it to 5. You can easily do that. You can change this to 5 like this, right? But in tuple you cannot do this. Tuple says that as soon as you have created a tuple, Now you don't have any right to change any value in tuple. You cannot change a value. You cannot say that I want to change this 4 into 5. You cannot do that in tuple. Okay, that's why tuple is known as immutable. Immutable means unchangeable. Okay, if you want to change the value, you can use the typecasting. That means you can change the tuple into list, and in list the alternation manipulation is possible. So you can change the value from there and then again typecast into this tuple. Okay, you can do in that way, but tuple doesn't have any built-in function to support the manipulation, alternation, and updation. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So the same thing over here. Let me take this, paste it over here. And if I want to make it a tuple, let's say this is tuple, I have to just replace this with a round bracket. That's it. Now it's a tuple. Now it's a tuple. Let me show you the type over here. Type. And now if you see over here, this is a tuple. Now it has become a tuple. Okay. The only difference between over here is the bracket, and secondly, you cannot alter any value. Now if you realize that, okay, I want to change this value, I want to change this value reality to something else. Okay, you cannot do this in tuple, whereas you can easily do this in list. Let's suppose this is your list. This is your list. Let's run this. Okay, now I say that, okay, I want to change this space to space stone. I want to change this space to space stone. So what you can do is you can say stone and then the index value of this space, that is 0, and you can say now from now onwards it will be space stone. Okay, now if you're going to hit enter, now if you're going to say stone, you will going to see the value has been updated. The value has been updated in the list, right? The value has been updated in the list, but this process cannot be done in tuple. This process cannot be done in tuple. Okay, let's see this. If I say stone tup, and let's say 0. Okay, so this is your space. This is your space. Okay, let me grab this value, copy this up, equal to space stone. Now see the error. See the error. Tuple object does not suppose the item assignment. That means you cannot update anything. So if you have made this changes, it will be as it is. It will be as it is. You cannot change that. If you want to change this, what you can do is you can convert and you can typecast it. You can typecast from tuple to list, change it in the list like this, and again typecast into tuple. That's the only way you can do that. Okay, that's the only way. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So next is dictionary. Next is dictionary. Okay, next is dictionary, and it will going to work exactly the same way that we have in real life. We have an Oxford dictionary, right? And how exactly a dictionary is pattern? What exactly is the pattern of a dictionary? You will going to have a word and then you will going to have a meaning. This is the pattern that has been followed in a dictionary. Yes or no? You will going to have a word, you use the dictionary to find the meaning of the word. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? You will never going to use dictionary to find the word. You have the meaning and you have to find the word. You never use that way, right? You always use the dictionary to find the meaning of the word, right? And the dictionary will be following up this pattern, that means word and meaning, right? In Python, exactly the same way. And meaning is known as the value. The word is known as the key and meaning is known as the value. Okay, so if you want to create a Python dictionary, you have to make sure it will going to follow the pattern of key value pair. Okay, and this key value pair should be enclosed within the curly braces. This key value pair should be enclosed within the curly braces. Okay, so you have to understand, for tuple, round bracket, for list, square bracket, and for dictionary, curly braces. Okay, and the data should follow the pattern of key and value pair. Okay, so if you want to create a dictionary, let's say general stuffs. Okay, so let's say this is a dictionary and the word I want to say is pencil. And over here I'm going to give the meaning, an object an object containing graphite. Okay, you can declare multiple words. You can declare multiple words over here. Okay, it's totally depend upon you. Let me run this and let's print this general keys, general stuff, and you can see this is our dictionary where we are following the key value pair, whereas the pencil is the key and the value is this is the meaning, right? If you want to check the type, you can check the type as well. This is a dictionary, that is a dict. Okay, it's a dict, that's a dictionary. Okay, and dictionary is always unordered. It's always ordered. That means even though in our if you see our Oxford dictionary, right, you will going to see it, the dictionary is always ordered. You will always going to find out the word starting from A first, right? Then all the words starting from A will going to appear first, then all the words starting from B will going to appear after A, right? So this is known as the ordered. So dictionary will always be ordered. Dictionary will always be ordered. Suppose over here, let me write over here an apple. This is an apple, and let me say keeps the doctor away. Let's say this. Okay, now if I'm going to run this, now see, apple, since over here if you see I have written apple later, I have written apple after pencil, but still apple has been occurred first because this is an ordered. Okay, dictionary always follow the ordered. Okay, the dictionary is always ordered, so all the alphabets that comes first will going to appear first over here. Is it clear? Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Perfect. The last data structure that we have in store is sets. It's sets. Set says that if you want to declare a set, that set should be the data should be included within the curly braces. Now don't get confused between the sets and the dictionary. They both says that data should be included in the curly braces, but in dictionary the data should follow the key value pair. If the data is in the curly braces, then there are two options. Either it could be a set or it could be a dictionary. Okay, if it is the data is following the key and value pair, then it will be a dictionary. If the data is not following the key and value pair, it will be a set. Okay, the beauty of the set is that it will not going to allow to contain the repetitive element. Any element that has been repeated, okay, it will not going to contain that. That means if this is a list, you are writing 1 2 1, it is acceptable in list. It is acceptable in list, right? If you are creating a set and you're writing 1 2 1, what happens is that automatically Python interpreter will going to convert this as 1 and 2, because if you see the element 1 has already repeated. Okay, so set says that I am going to include only the unique element. I am going to include only the unique element. Okay, so let's see the similar example. Let's say this is your list. Let's say listy. Okay, and over here let me write 1 2 1. Okay, and similarly let's go with seti, that is 1 2 1, not 2, 1 2 1. Let's run this. If I'm going to print the listy, I'm going to get all the elements, that is 1 2 and 1, because list. Let's say that I'm not going to include I'm not going to only include the unique elements. I'm going to include all the elements, whether it's unique, whether it's repeated, I don't care about that, right? But set says that no, I do have some issue with all the repeated numbers, so I'm only going to include the unique numbers. Okay, if you see this, I'm getting 1 and 2, though I have declared a set as 1 to 1, but still interpreter contains and give them the priority to 1 and 2 because 1 has already been occurred. So set will always going to include the unique element. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Give me a confirmation, please. Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. So let's move on. This is all about the data structure. Let's move on and understand about the conditional statement. Now we are going to study some more concept. Conditional statement. Okay, so with the name of this only, we can suggest what exactly this conditional statement will all about. It will be a statement based on some condition. It will be a statement based on some condition. In general life, how we make a condition? If you are going to do this, I am going to do that. Okay, if this happen, I am going to do this. If this happen, I am going to do this. Like what we say is that if let me write over here, if I am going to get more than 75% in 10th, if I am going to get more than 75% in 10th, I am going to choose science in 11th. If I am going to get more than 60% but less than 75%, okay, then in 10th, obviously in 10th, I am going to go with commerce. Otherwise means that if both of the condition is not satisfied, then I am going to use humanities. Okay, or you can call this as arts. This is the condition. This is a general life condition that we make. Remember, yes or no? Okay, so over here, this is known as conditional statement. This is known as a conditional statements. Okay, so these are the condition when you say that if this is my condition, over here, this is your condition. Let's say this is your condition, this is your condition, and this is your statement. This is your condition, this is your statement. This is your condition and this is your statement. That's why it's known as a conditional statement. Okay, so if you want to declare a conditional statement in Python itself, you have to use the same way. So for conditional statement, we have the keywords, that's if, elif, and else. If, elif, and else. Okay, these are the three keywords that will going to help us in understanding the conditional statement. Okay, if you want to declare the same thing in the Python, what we have to do? We have to say if, and this is, what exactly is this 75% over here? We're talking about the marks. We're talking about the marks over here. Yes or no? If marks is greater than 75%, are you guys getting this? Are you guys getting this? Yes or no? Are you guys getting this? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Perfect. So we are talking about if marks is greater than 75%. So we will going to say if marks is greater than 75. Okay, if marks is greater than 75, this is a condition. This is a condition, right? And in Python, whenever you declare a condition, you need to write the condition. After you are done with the condition, you need to close the condition with the colon. And this if is a keyword that will going to tell your interpreter that from here now we are using the conditional statement. Okay, then you will going to provide a statement over here. Now you will see this statement, there is some indentation or there is some gap. This gap will going to help us in understanding that this statement belongs to this condition. This statement belongs to this condition. Okay, so that's why we add a space over here. That's why we add a space over here, and this space is known as a indentation. This space is known as indentation. Let me write over here. Indentation. Okay, the statement will be, we are going to choose science. Let's say print science. Okay, now if you have multiple condition associated with a single form, you are going to use elif. You are going to use elif. Elif will going to tell the interpreter that if this condition is false, then only check me. Then only you have to check me. Otherwise, don't check me. Okay, if you are providing over here as an if you say if marks is greater than 60, okay, and at the same time marks is less than 75. Okay, so that means if marks is between 60 to 70%, okay, then you have to print a statement as commerce. Then you have to print a statement as commerce over here, right? Now if you're writing in this way, what will going to happen? First your Python interpreter will going to check this condition. even though if it's true or false, it will going to make some action. Then also it will going to check this statement as well, right? So you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. If you want to say that please check this statement only if the first statement is false. Please check this statement only when this first statement is false. That's why we use elif. That's why we use elif. Okay. And this otherwise is known as else. This otherwise is known as else, that if even though if you're not getting any statement, any condition as true, okay, if both of the condition fails, then what you have to do? Then simply do this. Simply do this. What is this? Humanities or arts. If both of the condition is not true, then do this. Okay. If the first condition is true, then do this. Interpreter don't have to check furthermore. Interpreter will not going to waste its time or computation power to check furthermore as soon as the condition becomes true. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Perfect. No, times is not up. We still have 10 minutes. We still have 10 minutes. Okay. Perfect. So let's see the implementation over here. If you remember the scene in Infinity War, okay, what happened is the condition was there's a variable. Let's say spare underscore his underscore life. Spare underscore his underscore life is one variable. Okay. You can have true or you can have false. It can have either true and false. Let's make a condition. If spare his life, Doctor Strange is compromising with Thanos, that spare Tony Stark life, and I am going to give you time stone, right? Now we are going to say if Thanos will going to spare his life, that means if spare his life, that means if this condition is true, what will going to happen? What will going to happen? Doctor Strange will gonna give away the time stone. This was the condition. This was the condition that Doctor Strange has made, right? If you are going to spare Tony Stark life, I am going to give away your time stone. This was the condition that Doctor Strange has made. Remember, guys? Remember, guys? Are you guys getting this? Are you guys getting the concept? Yes or no? Okay. Perfect. Okay. So if this happened, we are going to do this. Else what will going to happen? Else what will going to happen? Tony will die. Tony will die. Okay. So this is a simple condition we have given over here. Let's say this is true. This variable says spare his life and Thanos has agreed that okay, I'm sparing his life. What will going to happen if I'm going to run this? What do you think will going to get printed? If Thanos has agreed to spare Tony Stark's life, what do you think will going to get printed if I'm going to run this cell? Come on. Come on. What do you think will going to be the output? If statement. Exactly. So if statement will going to run, right? If statement will going to run, right? Let's check this. Exactly. So if statement has run because this statement is true. This statement is true. Okay. Now if we say this statement is false, let's suppose Thanos says that no, I am already having these many stone in hand, and you want to you can say you want to bargain with me. Obviously not. I'm going to take the time stone with my with like that only, right? So let's say he has not agreed to spare his life. So what will going to happen? Tony will die. That means if this condition becomes false, else says that if any of the condition is not giving you true, then kindly print this. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. So that's how the conditional statement works. That's how the conditional statement works. Okay. That's how the conditional statement works. Okay. We still have a concept left about loops. Okay, so do you want me to cover loops today, or do you want me to cover loops tomorrow? Come on, tell me, guys. Do you want me to cover the loops today, or do you want me to cover the loops tomorrow? Come on. Okay, a lot of people saying tomorrow. Okay, because according to the schedule, we would have started machine learning tomorrow, right? But still, if you want me to start it tomorrow, let's go with tomorrow itself. Okay, a lot of people are saying tomorrow. Perfect. Okay, so this was the entire wrap for today's session. Okay, tomorrow we're going to start with the loops. Okay, we're going to understand what is loops, how many times types of loops we have, and then we directly move on to the machine learning. We have to complete the entire concept of machine learning and the model training and all that, so that from the next day onward we can start with our Flask, so that we can start with our making our website, how we can integrate our machine learning model to our website, and how we can get the instantaneous result. And the next day we're going to start with the deployment purpose. Okay, we're going to start with the deployment, how we can deploy it, so that you can give your any friend or any colleague a link and they can easily access your project. Okay, so that's all from my end. Okay, let me share the attendance link for today, because it seems like most of the people are more concerned about the attendance link rather than the content. Okay, so again I must say that please guys focus on the content, because if you don't have that knowledge, right, that certification is just a piece of paper for you. Okay, if you don't have that knowledge, if you don't have the skill, certification is just a piece of paper for you. So please, it's a request, focus on the content rather than on the certification. Okay, so here you go with your attendance link. So please try to fill this up as soon as possible for the day 3. Okay, okay. Okay, awesome. So if you have any more questions, any more doubt, please ask. Please ask. Exactly. Industry don't want certificate, guys. Industry don't want certificate or certification. They want skills, they want projects, they want knowledge. So please, it's a request. Focus on the content, please. Okay. Waiting for Flask, even though I am waiting for Flask because it's so interesting, so magical, and so easy to build. Okay. Perfect. Any doubt? Any doubt? What will be the order in dictionary? Capital A and small a both are there. Yeah. So precedence will be followed up. Precedence will be followed up. That means we have capital A and we have small a. So according to that, either small a will be given more precedence to the capital A and vice versa. Okay. So there will be a precedence. uh is there any place we can watch these lecture again? Yes, definitely there are. After, as soon as this session will going to end up, automatically this session is been recorded. Okay, so after a couple of minutes, like after 1 minute, okay, as soon as the session will going to end up, you can easily access today's session and all the sessions. Okay, perfect. How to convert tuple into a list? Use a typecasting. Use a typecasting, right? We have the typecasting as tuple. Okay. So yesterday, if you have seen, we have like int and str in this format, right? Similarly, if you want to convert from one data structure to another data structure, so we have for a tuple, we have list like this, we have dictionary for dict, and we have set. Okay, and you have to make sure the data should be valid. Data should be valid. Okay, with the help of this, you can convert from one data type into another data type. uh any more question, please ask. I have my semester exam from 15th. How can I submit my project on time? See, it will hardly going to take you an hour. It will hardly going to take you an hour to do the project. Okay, and that project will going to help you out to understand, and it will going to help you out to encourage your skills. Okay, so please do the project. Please do the project. Okay, and I believe that all the examination are been holding up online, so it's very more easier for all of you guys to do that. Okay, are dictionary mutable? Yeah, you can change. You can change, and if you want to change any key or any value, you can change in the dictionary. Okay, you can change it. Any more question? Any more question? Okay. Perfect. So it seems like no one has any question. We are going to discuss the project on the last day. Okay. So on that day only we're going to tell about that. What will happen if elif is replaced with if? If you are replacing elif with if, what will going to happen is that that if will be going to treat it as a new condition. That means even though if the first condition is true, that again that next condition will going to run, interpreter will going to run that statement. Okay, so if you don't want to get it run, if you want to run only the statement that is true, then you have to go with elif. Okay, otherwise you can go with if you want both the statement to get run. Okay, why we add plus one in slicing? The reason being is that Python interpreter will going to include the starting value but exclude the ending value. It will going to include the starting value but exclude the ending value, right? So that's why we have to add plus one in slicing, so that we can include the ending value as well, and all the elements that is having that index of ending value can be printed. Okay, okay, perfect. Are set mutables. This is a controversy over here, that generally what we say is that data in a set is mutable but set is immutable. Okay, a set is immutable. Okay, you cannot change a set, but the data, a set with a data is mutable. Okay, where we will be do the final project, it's totally up to your choice. It's totally up to your choice. Either you want to go with VS Code, you can go with, or you can go with PyCharm. Okay, can I use VS Code? Yeah, definitely you can use that VS Code editor. Okay, even though I will be using VS Code for Flask. Okay, when we are going to do Flask, I'm going to use VS Code only. Okay. Okay, I think it's over. Okay, so thank you so much for joining in. Let's meet tomorrow. Okay, and we're going to start with day 4, and tomorrow we're going to start with machine learning, so it will be more interesting. Tomorrow we're going to start with some kind of models. It might be linear regression model. We're going to understand that, and we can do that. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. Have a great time. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your Sunday evening, and we're going to meet soon. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.